to my channel Wading Deeper, and today I want to talk about relational growth. As human being, we want to grow in all the aspects of our life, and one of those aspects is relational growth. So today I want to talk about relational growth and the three levels of relational growth, which are dependent stage, independent stage, and interdependent stage. So let me explain to you what are they. So to start with, we all begin our life as little babies, as dependent on somebody else to take care of us. So we depend on others to take care of us, to feed us, to comfort us, to change us, to put us to sleep, and sometime even to make us laugh and joyful. So we don't stay there rest of our life, and we begin to outgrow of dependent stage into the independent stage, even being a toddler. So you might have seen that toddlers, how they begin to explore their world, explore themselves, try to do things for themselves, try to feed themselves, and as they grow, and the small kids learn to read and write, go to school by themselves, and gradually they learn how to ride bicycle, and they teach themselves, they learn by themselves, and after some time they learn how to drive car, how to get a job and everything, and thus a human being become an independent person. But that's not the ideal stage. The ideal stage is becoming interdependence, where you allow other people to depend on you, and you become aware that you are not enough, you also need other people to depend on. And at that stage, we all get married, get settled down, have kids to take care, and we begin to contribute to our community and our society at large, and we would find ways to help other human beings. So these are the three stages of relational development. It sounds very good and it sounds also perfect, but then it doesn't happen always this way. Some of us get stuck at the dependent stage, and some of us get stuck at independent stage. So I will just talk about how we get stuck at dependent stage and how do we get stuck at independent stage. As we become toddlers and start exploring our world, or as little kids, we begin to learn to do things. If we are over controlled, if we are restricted, if we are made fun of or shouted at or not allowed it to explore the world around us or do things of our own, even though that's imperfect at that time, we receive a message that I'm not good enough, and I am not able to take care of myself, and I would need other people to take care of myself. So basically, those who are stuck at dependent stage, it's not that obvious that they are not able to take care of themselves, but what happens is that they get stuck at emotional level. They feel so incapable of facing their failures. They feel so incapable of regulating their emotions. They are scared to take new challenges in life. So they are afraid of criticism. They are afraid of being judged by other people. They are afraid to begin a new venture in their life. They are afraid at every new beginning. So that's how a person stuck at dependence look like. Even though they contribute to the community or society, but it comes from a place of need. They need attention, they need affirmation, they need social acceptance, and all their contribution is caused by that need. And that is why when they don't receive the attention they needed, or the social acceptance they needed, they feel bitter and resent against people. So that is why, again, this is just a superficial interdependence, but not the real interdependence. To talk about independent people, how they get stuck is that in their childhood, when they begin to explore their world or start doing things of their own, mostly they are left unsupervised. There was no one to supervise them. And when a small kid begin to explore her world or his world, There are times when they get hurt, or they feel scared, or they feel threatened, and all what they want to do is to run to their caregivers to feel safe and secure and to be comforted. So for these kids, there was no caretaker. They could not run to anyone. They could not get comforted from anyone. Their caretakers were either not present, or they were distant, or emotionally distant from them, or they might be just preoccupied with their own life and they didn't have time to look into their kids' emotional need. So the message kids receive is, there is no one to take care of me and I have to take care of myself. So these children grow up becoming very independent and very confident, outgoing, and they look very capable, but somehow deep inside them, they suppress all their emotion. They do not know what to do with their emotions, and they find it very difficult to depend on somebody, or and even allowing other people to depend on them. And in our adult world, you will find these people as very successful. And it's not wrong to be successful. The only problem is, in long run, they do not know when to stop and where to stop. They become overstrivers and overachievers at the cost of all their emotional well-being. And somehow they do not know how to connect with other human being or other fellow human being. They may also seem like contributing to the community, but they they have lot of difficulty receiving from people. They are very good at giving. They could give people, but then they have very much difficulty receiving from people, because they find it like receiving is a sign of weakness, giving is a sign of strength. So they would avoid any sign of weakness and embrace every sign of strength, afraid to be taken advantage by other people. So they would keep an emotional distance from other people. If a person comes with a good heart toward them, they they think that that person might take some advantage of them, so they stay away. They keep that emotional distance from everyone, so that no one would take advantage of them. So this is how a person who's stuck at independent stage looks like. As we have seen how a person would look if they are stuck at a dependent stage, and how a person would look at if he's stuck at independent stage. Now let's look how we can get unstuck ourselves and grow to the next level. We need to remember, for a person who is stuck at dependent stage need to grow, that person need to grow to independent stage to grow to interdependent stage. Without being independent, no one can become interdependent. Independent is the key to become interdependent. As we know, the interdependent stage is where we care for ourselves and others simultaneously. And this is the true sign of a mature person, that mature person is able to care for self and care for others. As Bible say, love your neighbor as yourself. You will never be able to love someone if you do not love yourself. If you will never be able to make someone grow where you have not grown yourself. If you cannot take someone where you had not been. So it is very important that we learn to unstuck ourselves in whichever stage we are, so that we can make other people grow as well. So to begin, how someone can unstuck themselves from dependent stage is, the first stage is being aware of that you are stuck, that you need to become unstuck, and recognizing your own fears. So mainly at dependent stage, people have two fears. One is of criticism, and the second one is of not being good enough. And you have to make yourself confident that you are good enough, and you have to prove it to yourself. For that, you can do a simple technique in which you can make a list of all the things you find difficult for you to do. You can rank them according to its difficulty from 1 to, let's say, 10, and you can begin doing the first thing, and you can keep growing and do the second thing and third thing, and you can keep trying and do all the 10 things which you find you are not able to do it by yourself and you may need help. So exercise taking more risk, allow yourself to do new things even if you're scared. Do it, and that would give you more courage and more confidence, and it will rewrite the conclusions from the past experiences you had engraved in your heart. So the people, those who are stuck at independent stage, can first of all recognize what is the cause and what is the impact of being stuck at independent stage. Secondly, being connected with your internal reality. Mostly independent people are externally focused, and if you get focused internally and you understand your internal reality, your emotional reality, and it will really help you to get in touch with you and what's happening inside you. Thirdly, recognizing that there is no threat, there is no competition, and everyone is good in their own way, and everyone can contribute to each other. So allowing people to contribute to your life without feeling threatened or without feeling the need of paying them back. Again, being in touch with your real emotions and allowing people to express their emotion before you. All these things can make you become more interdependent person, where other people can find you more dependable and more contributing, and just recognizing that you are more than your success, and it's not only your success will define you. You are a precious human being, and there is so much more you can still contribute at all other levels which you have not identified yet. So may God bless all of us to unstuck ourselves and grow into interdependent relationship. And as Jesus said, love your neighbor as yourself. Let's love ourselves and love our neighbors. God bless you.